Welcome to the module on cleaning and summarizing data in tables. The first activity is around exploring our data. First, you're going to open up the Google Sheets app. And here I'm opening up the data set that was shared with me at the beginning of the course. And I'm going to make a copy of this into my own Google Drive by simply adding my name to the end of it and navigating to the folder where I want to save this file. When I'm done, I just push OK. And here is the data set that was shared with me. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it a little bit better. I'm just putting my cursor in different cells and navigating around. The first thing I'm going to do is highlight this column A and show you how to make the columns wider if we want to. And this is the little button that will appear when we highlight a column. Just hold on to that and drag it left, right, and change the width of the column manually. You can double click it to automatically fit to the width of the column. Now let's try freezing this column. Again, I'm going to click on this A, and that's going to highlight the whole column for me. And then I'm holding my finger down on A, and it's giving me this menu. And I navigate to the three buttons, push freeze, and now you'll see that when I scroll right, it's frozen there. I do the same thing again, hold my finger on A, select the three buttons, and then unfreeze it, and you can see that it's gone away now. The next thing we're going to do is hide a column. Let's hide column E, which is the household size. So hold my finger down on E. It's going to highlight the whole column. And I get this menu, click on three buttons, and go down to the hide column option, and you'll see it disappear. So if you look here, we have D, blank, F, and there's these two arrows in between. If I click on those two arrows, my column E will reappear. It's helpful to hide columns that are not relevant for data cleaning that you know you're never going to use in your analysis, just to keep things tidy. The next thing we're going to do is filter columns. I'm not sure if you saw in the last slide, I pushed the three buttons in the top right, and now these down arrows are appearing in each of the header columns. And when I click on those down arrows, the sort and filter options appear. I'm going to show you how to sort from A to Z. So I'm currently clicked on the date column. As you see, I'm scrolling down and it's now sorted from October 1st through October 3rd. Okay, and now I'm over in the teams column, and I'm going to show you the select all, clear all button so that I can just click on a particular team that I want to see. So right now there's blue, green, there's a bunch of different colored teams. And all of those teams are listed in this little area below. I'm going to clear it and then select green. So let's do that. Push clear. Now nothing is selected. I push green. Only the green team observations or rows are being shown now. And I can change this up. I'll change it to just the orange team. Here's the blue team. I'm going to select all again just to make sure we have all of our data visible. So it's just hiding data that we didn't want to see. That's all that the filter is doing. Great, so that's how you can navigate. Now we're going to clean and document changes to our data. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to document some data entry errors. So this is where I'm going to list unique categories for my categorical variables, and then the minimum, maximum, and count for my numeric variables, my continuous numeric variables. And I'm just making a note there so you can see this is what I'm doing at the bottom of my spreadsheet. All right, my first column is a team name, so it's a categorical variable. And so I'm going to use the unique function, and I start a function with an equal sign, and then I type in unique, and then I put an open parentheses, and I want to select all of the values. So I select the bottom cell, and then I use the little button. It's like a round circle that's in the top left corner, and I drag it all the way to the top. So I'm selecting all of the values in the team column that I want to find the unique values of. And you can see down here, it's found 4 unique values: blue, green, orange, and red. Those are my team names. Let's do the same thing with date. So I type equals, unique, open parentheses. I select the bottom date, drag all the way up, make sure I'm getting all the way up to row 2, which is the top of my data set. Come back down to the function bar, put my close parentheses, there we go. Push enter. Let's get this little thing out of the way, push the check mark, and you can see I have 3 unique dates in this data set. Now let's just continue on. The next variable is also categorical. It's telling us the area name from our survey. So I come down here, click on the cell, come down here to the function bar if you haven't seen that before, type equals, unique, remove that space, put open parentheses, select all the values in my area column all the way to the top. You can see that for all of these, my data set always has the same number of observations or rows. So I'm always doing in the column row 2 through row 51. Close parentheses, push the check mark or enter, and I see 2 different areas. Now my next column is a numeric value, and it's actually the ID of the households in my survey. And so for this, I don't want unique categories because I'll get 50 of them for all 50 people who responded to this survey. So for a numeric value like this that's continuous, I'm going to use the min value, max value, and count. And this will tell me if there's any numbers that are out of the ordinary. So I type in equals min for minimum, M-I-N, open parentheses, and now I select all of the data that I want to find the minimum value of. Put close parentheses, enter, and you can see the minimum value or the minimum ID is 1. Now here's a trick. I'm just going to copy and paste all of the text here, go down to my next row and paste the text. And I'm just going to edit min and turn it into max. So now we can find the maximum value. And this prevents me from having to go back and forth highlighting cells. So my max value is 50, which makes sense in this data set of 50 households. I do the same thing, copy and paste. And now I change min to count, and I can get a count of all the rows in that data set. So there's 50 households. So these all make sense, and I can actually just copy all of these formulas and go over to the next column, which is about household size. It's also numeric. And I put paste in the top, and you can see that it's pasted. As long as it's in the same rows, it will refer to the same rows above. So I've pasted it in row 54, and it's referencing rows 2 through 51, but it's only staying in column E. I'm going to do the same thing with these other numeric columns. So this is the head of household income, which is a number. I paste in the same row 54, and now I've got the minimum, maximum, and count from